Hey everyone, so today I'm going to share a video. It's actually an adaptation of a blog post that I did last year, so July of 2018. And this is about things that I learned from the Five Love Languages Singles Edition. So I started reading the Five Love Languages Singles Edition by Gary Chapman, I think February or March of last year. I don't even remember how I came across it. I just did, and it was sitting on my shelf for a while, and I was like, oh, I should really read that. Like, that'd be super great. I was just super curious about it. I'd previously taken the Five Love Languages test online and had heard a lot of people talk about it. But, I mean, I'm single, so what could the Five Love Languages do for me? I don't have, like a lifetime partner or anything like that. So when I found out that there was a singles edition, I was super excited. I was like, cool. Like, I didn't know what it was going to teach me. I just hoped there would be something in there, or I'd learn about myself, like what my love languages are, so that when I do eventually have a relationship, I'd be able to tell my partner, like, hey, you're speaking this love language, but it doesn't work for me, or whatever, So, sorry, I'm just reading off my blog post here, kind of adapting it. So if you see me glancing away, that's why. Oh yeah, so I'm also like toying with the idea of writing a book about like some key characteristics that I found in dating and young adult life. So kind of like dating how to, LDS, YSA life, that type of deal. I haven't really decided what route I'm going to take with that. So I thought I might find some inspiration in this book. So yeah, that's kind of like the little preface to this. Also, if you have any questions about the book, the Five Love Languages Singles Edition, or if you have any comments or questions about the thoughts that I'm going to share, hit me up in the comments. If you're friends with me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, hit me up there. I'll try to answer them. Okay. So, I hoped that this book, the Five Love Languages Singles Edition, from now on, I'll just refer to it as the Singles Edition. So, when I say the Singles Edition, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. I hope that the book would provide me good insights into how to communicate with others. I think that my original plan was to sit down with the book during a free weekend and soak it all up. So, like I said, I think this was February, March of last year, so it was probably around the time of spring break. So that was probably my original thought, like, spring break is coming, I've got this awesome book, let me just plow right through it. Well, as soon as I opened the book, I realized that my plan was foiled. This book went right to my heartstrings, like from the very first page. And I knew that I wouldn't finish it with just in that weekend or over the next week. I knew it was going to take me a while. That being said, this book could easily be read in a short amount of time. So don't feel like if you're going to read this book, you have to be super committed. Like, you don't have to commit a ton of time to it. But at the end, I wish I had the book here with me. That would have been a smart idea. Sorry, guys. But at the end of each chapter, Gary Chapman has a bunch of questions for you to ask yourself, which I found really useful. Sometimes they're general questions, other times they're a little bit more probing, and I was really glad that I was reading this book by myself, that it wasn't like for a book club or something, because I would not have answered those questions in front of anyone else. So, like I said, when I picked this book up, I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that I wanted to grow. I knew that I wanted it to change and influence my life somehow. I wanted to test Chapman's idea of the Five Love Languages. Sorry, words are hard. Chapman's idea of the 5 love languages and see how and if they applied to my different levels of relationships as a single person. So rather than devouring this book within a matter of days, I made a plan to slowly work my way through this book. I opened myself to the possibility to change, to ponder, to grow, and to test the things written on the pages. I didn't fully know what to expect, but I'm glad I took the time to allow application. So when I made this blog post, July 28th of last year, I had finished reading the book, and then over a couple of days, I was just really thinking about what I had learned from the book, which is why I ended up writing the blog post, Things I've Learned from the 5 Love Languages Singles Edition. So, I can't believe I'm already 6 minutes into this, and I haven't even told you guys what the 5 love languages are. I'm sorry. So if you don't know, there are the 5 love languages. 1 is quality time, and then there's words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, and gifts. Yeah. So one of the first things that I thought about as I read this, communication isn't just about marriage. I'm not married. I have no experience with that. Cool. Before marriage, there's dating. Before dating, we have friends. Before we have friends, we have family. Every relationship that we have is important. Every person that we interact with can influence us for good or for bad. We can consciously choose how to interact with the important people in our lives. That being said, I can apply the 5 love languages to any relationship. I tested that. Like, hardcore, tested the crap out of that. As I read through the book, I took the opportunity to recognize what my parents' and siblings' love languages are, or at least tried to. To be honest, I didn't figure out all of them. Some of them I had to ask. Other ones, I was just like, I still don't know. Even when they told me, like, if one of them told me that their love language is acts of service, I'm like, but I help you with your laundry. And you still dislike me. You know, like sibling rivalry dislike. So, I'm not sure if they were telling the truth. Anyways, so once I understood what helps to make my family members feel loved, I experimented. I applied it to our relationship. So I didn't do this with every member of my immediate family at the time that I wrote this out, that I did this blog post, but I've kind of, over the past almost year, kind of been trying it out on each of them. And they probably don't realize that I did this. So that's kind of fun, knowing how to make them feel loved, but them not knowing that I know. It's like my own little secret that they kind of revealed to me. Sorry, that was weird. So I think the biggest surprise that happened while I was doing this, I applied the 5 love languages to some of my friendships. And that was kind of surprising. So when I first got this book, I took the test. I wasn't surprised that quality time was my first love language. I like one-on-one time. I hate crowds. I'm an introvert, so crowds stress me out. Does not make me happy. So my 2 best friends at the time, they also took the test, and their top love languages were also quality time, which made sense because we were always hanging out, even if we were like doing homework, like not actually talking to each other. And we didn't have to like go out and spend money to see a movie or go bowling or whatever, like we can literally just go into one person's apartment, sit on the floor, and like we could probably just grunt at each other and make weird noises for like a good half hour to an hour, and we'd be totally content. Like college life, yo. But you know, for me, it was good to find friends that had the same main love language. So, moving on. I learned through this experiment that I can speak all of the love languages. Some of them aren't very easy, but I can do it if I put my mind to it. Since quality time is my number one love language, I've mastered how to receive it and how to speak it to others. I also recognize that sometimes I need to straight out tell people that that is my love language, which I've had to do on occasion because I do have extroverted friends and they just want to go out with groups and do stuff. And sometimes I need to tell them, guys, I can't do that. Or if I go to this, can I plan a time later this week just to hang out the two of us, even if it's just, for like 10 minutes, like just go grab a smoothie real quick. I need that sometimes. All right, so I have a few stories that I'm going to do throughout this. So story number 1, gift giving. So I don't like receiving gifts. Like, I really don't. Well, however, okay, let me rephrase. I don't like receiving gifts in person and expecting a reaction right then. So like if someone were to come up to me and just randomly give me a gift and like it's wrapped and they want me to open it and I didn't know they were going to give me a gift and they haven't hinted at what it might be, I'll just be like, so I've got to go do this one thing and then I'll open it later and then send them a text message saying thank you or whatever. I like receiving care packages from my family. I just got one for Easter / some souvenirs from New York because they went there. I was here at school, so I didn't get to go. So they sent me some things to kind of feel included in that trip, even though I didn't get to go. So I really, really enjoyed that. So in general, I don't like receiving gifts if they're completely by surprise. Like, I don't. Because it puts pressure on me, and pressure is bad. Anxiety is a very, very real part of my life. So, yeah, I don't like being sprung with gifts. Anyways, that's gone on too long. Sorry. Oh, like a good example, last year I had a birthday party, which I never have birthday parties, but I had one last year. Some of the guests brought gifts and I made a point to not open them while they were there. Like they came, they had fun. We had, food and cake and whatever. And then I sent them on their merry way. And once they were all gone and everything was cleaned up, then I went and opened the gifts by myself. And I enjoyed them a lot. Okay, so I do enjoy giving gifts. It's kind of my favorite thing. I love Christmas. I love birthdays. My family jokes because I usually start my Christmas shopping in June. In fact, this year I've already got about a third of my Christmas shopping done, and it's only April 1st. And this is not an April Fool's joke. I really do. And I think I even wrapped them. I don't know. I can't remember. But I have Christmas presents already for this year. Let's see. I really like to think about my relationship with that individual, find them something that they'll like or something that will make them laugh. Previously, I only gave gifts to my family, which is why I've absolutely nailed Christmas, every year, for as long as I can remember. But as I was reading this book, I decided to test out gift giving. My roommate was having a hard day. She's also my best friend. So like we talk a lot. I understand like what's going on in her life, all the different levels of stress, work, school, boys, that stuff. That same day, I was planning to pick up her birthday present, which her birthday was like 2 weeks away or something. So I was already at the store getting something for her, and then I saw a funny card, like just in the just because section, and she likes bubbles. So I got her some bubbles and a funny card. I hope that would cheer her up. So I just left it on her bed, and then she came home and I was like watching a movie or whatever, pretending I wasn't watching her open her gift. Definitely was. And she got so excited because she came home stressed and still had homework to do. But then she laughed at the funny card and she had bubbles. So she opened them and started blowing bubbles. So that was pretty fun. So it was out of the norm for me, but her reaction was priceless. So good. All right, story number 2. Acts of service. Another friend hasn't taken the test, but I've been testing out the love languages on him. So Chapman mentions that not everyone receives love languages in the same way. I couldn't tell right away what this friend's love language was, but I could tell what it wasn't. Within a period of an hour, I applied 3 different love languages. He replied well to quality time and words of affirmation, but he was taken aback when I applied acts of service. Now, I realize that this may be because he is male and I'm female. A little bit of backstory. I'm here at university. I made the choice to not have a car while I'm here. I literally live across the street from university. Grocery store is like 3 blocks away. Can easily walk it. I just have to make more trips that way. So one time we were out running an errand. He's given me rides